Hello friends, today I am here to discuss about chemical bonding, which is the second chapter in semester 1 examination for class 10th ICSE. So let's start. Let me just share the screen, and with this we start with the explanation part. So here it goes. I have already prepared a flow chart for you all to understand the things in a better manner. Now your chemical bonding is a force of attraction actually, which binds the atoms together. Now, when we say atoms, they can be of metallic element, they can be of non-metallic element, both the ways. So in this, your first comes your ionic or electrovalent bond, which is saying that transfer of electrons from an atom of a metallic element to an atom of a non-metallic element. Means that this kind of bond is formed between the atom of a metallic element and a non-metallic element, where we use the property of both the elements. Property means your metallic elements have the tendency to lose electrons and your non-metallic elements have the tendency to gain electrons. Hence, this ionic bond, when it is being formed, it is formed by the transfer of electrons. That is why from an atom of a metallic element to an atom of a non-metallic element. Then comes your covalent bond, which says that this is a chemical bond which is formed by the mutual sharing of electrons between the atoms of the same or different non-metallic elements. So because here only the non-metallic elements are involved, therefore the mutual sharing of electron occurs, which can be between the same metallic, no, it will be non-metallic. Here metallic element will play no role. So the definition says the mutual sharing of electrons between the atoms of same or different non-metallic elements. Now, when we talk about your coordinate bond, it is the modification of your covalent bonding, where the bond is formed by the shared pair of electrons with both the electrons coming from the same atom. Means, here when we are saying by a shared pair of electrons with both electrons coming from the same atom, here we are talking about lone pair of electrons. Your electrons are of two kinds, bonding electrons and lone pair of electrons. For example, if I take the oxygen element, O2. Now in oxygen element, if I talk about the configuration, atomic number is 8, configuration is 2, 6. As per the valence electron 6, it requires 2 electrons to complete its octet configuration, the stable configuration. Now for that purpose, oxygen only requires 2 electrons. So when oxygen is forming a bond, it involves 2 electrons. Therefore, out of 6, only 2 are involved in the bonding. So they are considered to be bonding electrons. And the 4 electrons which are left, it is said that oxygen has 2 lone pair of electrons, because these 4 electrons are not participating in the chemical bond formation. Okay. So now with this, I start with the formation of your bonds, that how the formation of the bonds occurs, the electron dot structure. Now, as per your reduced syllabus, there are only specific examples which we have to do this year. So when I talk about your ionic bond, the examples which we have to discuss are your NaCl, MgCl2, and calcium oxide. Now, if I talk about sodium chloride, your NaCl, then as per the configuration, your Na atomic number 11, the configuration is 2, 8, 1. Your chlorine atomic number 17, the configuration is 2, 8, 7. Hence, when the structure will be drawn, we have to represent only the valence electrons. Now, valence electrons can be represented by dot and by cross. So if just to make the structure visible, I'm using a different ink. Now, these are the electrons which are there in the valence shell. Now, sodium will lose 1 electron and chlorine will gain 1 electron. Why? Because sodium is a metal, so it will have a tendency to lose electron, and chlorine on the other hand, being a non-metal, will have the tendency to gain electron. So your Na, because it is losing 1 electron, so carries +1 charge, and chlorine atom changing into chloride ion has the charge as -1 because it is gaining 1 electron. Hence your structure for NaCl is complete. But with this structure, we should also know how to write the ionic equation in terms of loss and gain of electrons, because your oxidation and reduction now play a very vital role in this kind of bonding, because they are being taught with respect to your ionic concept. Because your oxidation, the ionic definition says loss of electrons, and reduction means gain of electrons. So let's see, your sodium is losing 1 electron, changing into Na plus ion. Your chloride, that is your chlorine, you cannot call as chloride because chloride will only be called when it will carry a charge. So your chlorine atom is gaining 1 electron and changing into Cl minus. So once we are summing up the reaction, it will be Na plus Cl giving NaCl. So this is the complete structure for your NaCl. Now let's see the structure for magnesium chloride, that how we will draw the structure for magnesium chloride. So here it goes, MgCl2. Your magnesium has atomic number 12. Therefore, the configuration is 2, 8, 2. Chlorine has atomic number 17. Therefore, the configuration is 2, 8, 7. Now, your magnesium has the tendency to lose electron because it is a metal, and it will be losing its 2 electrons. But at the same time, if we see chlorine atom has got 7 electrons already in the valence shell. So it will only gain 1 electron. Now to balance out the loss of electrons and the gain of electrons, in this particular compound, we have got 2 chlorine atoms playing a vital role. So if we use the dot and the cross to represent, so here we are representing the 7 valence electrons of the chlorine atom. Here it goes. And we represent 2 electrons from present in the valence shell of magnesium atom. So magnesium has the tendency to lose electron. So it will be Mg plus 2. Now each chlorine atom is gaining only 1 electron. This is a very common mistake which the children make in drawing the structure, that they change the valency state for chlorine. Now you cannot change the valency state of chlorine because your chlorine is having 7 electrons already. It will only gain 1 electron because there are 2 chlorine atoms. So you will write 2Cl, but the oxidation state will remain as -1. So it gives the structure as MgCl2. Now, if we talk about the ionic equation, your magnesium loses 2 electrons, changes into magnesium ion, Mg plus 2. Your chlorine atom gains 2 electrons. Will it? No. This is a very common mistake, as I mentioned just now, which the children make. So please, you don't make this common mistake, because chlorine atom will gain only 1 electron. So here you will be writing the correct note as 2Cl plus 2 electrons gained each by chlorine atom. 2 chlorine atoms are there. So each chlorine atom will gain 1 electron. So it will change into 2Cl minus. So once we sum up the equation, we will get Mg plus 2Cl gives MgCl2. So this is the structure for magnesium chloride. Now let's see the structure for calcium oxide. Now once we are drawing the structure for calcium oxide, calcium atom has atomic number 20. So the configuration is 2, 8, 8, 2. Oxygen, atomic number 8. So the configuration is 2, 6. Now, once we draw the structure for calcium and oxygen, your calcium has got 2 valence electrons and your oxygen atom has got 6 valence electrons. So calcium will lose 2 electrons and oxygen will gain 2 electrons. And this gives the formation for calcium oxide. Now, if we talk about the ionic equation, your calcium is losing 2 electrons, so changing into Ca plus 2. Your oxygen atom is gaining 2 electrons, so changing into O minus 2. Once we sum up, so calcium plus oxygen giving calcium oxide. So these are the 3 structures as per your reduced syllabus for ICSE 2022 examination for your ionic bond. Now let's see the covalent bond. For covalent bond, we say that the mutual sharing of electron occurs. But then your covalent bond has been distributed into 2 parts, non-polar and polar. Because when we are using, children, the word mutual sharing of electrons, actually the electrons need to be equally distributed. But if out of the 2 atoms, one atom is more electronegative, then due to its high electronegativity, it will try to pull out the shared electron pair towards itself, imparting a partial positive charge and the partial negative charge on the 2 respective atoms, which is called polarity, and hence the covalent bond is called your polar covalent bond. So let's see. In your covalent bond, I'm taking the example, your hydrogen, nitrogen, chlorine, CH4, CCl4. These are the examples for your non-polar. And for your polar, you have to do water. You have to do ammonia. These are your polar and your HCl as per your reduced syllabus. Now let's see for hydrogen. Now if I have to draw the structure for hydrogen, your hydrogen has got 1 electron. So it is only 1. Now, as we draw the Venn diagram in sets, you must have drawn in your middle school in mathematics, there used to be a chapter sets which is taught in which Venn diagram is drawn. Your covalent bond, whether it is polar or it is non-polar, the structure is drawn as your Venn diagram only. Let's see. Because it is a mutual sharing of electron, so this is the way you will be enclosing. Now it has got 1 electron of its own, 1 it has taken from the second hydrogen atom. Because it is mutual sharing, so the same number of electrons will be shared. So this is being shared for the second. Now because 1 electron is being shared, so this is the line diagram which you have to draw for your covalent bonds. So this is for your hydrogen. The next structure is for your chlorine. Let's see for chlorine. Chlorine atomic number 17, 2, 8, 7 is the configuration. So we will use the valence electrons. So here it goes. The representation, as I have told, we will use the different symbols to represent the electrons. Now it is already having 7. So it will share 1 electron of the second chlorine atom. In the similar way, the second chlorine atom will share 1 electron from the first chlorine atom. So here it goes, the structure. This is the line diagram. Okay. I hope you all are understanding. It's going well. I hope this tutorial will help you. Video tutorial, the explanation. Now comes your next, which is CH4. Now your carbon has got atomic number 6. So the configuration is 2, 4. Hydrogen, we already know it is 1. So only 1 electron. Now your carbon has got 4 valence electrons. Therefore, it requires 4 electrons from the other atom. But your hydrogen, as I said, atomic number 1, it requires only 1 electron for the stable configuration. So to balance out the requirement of the carbon atom, we have got 4 hydrogen atoms, each participating in the mutual sharing. So this completes the sharing of the first hydrogen atom, the second hydrogen atom, the third hydrogen atom, and the fourth hydrogen atom. And this is the sharing which is taking place for your carbon atom. So when we will draw the line diagram, it will be somewhat like this. I hope these examples will help you out to use the explanation part for drawing the diagrams for the other examples. Now we come to the polar covalent bonding. As I said, in polar covalent bonding, due to the difference in the electronegativity of the two atoms participating in the covalent bonding, the shared electron pair is unequally distributed. Let's see how. If I take the example of HCl, your HCl hydrogen atom having one atomic number, so 1 electron in the configuration. Chlorine atom has got 17 as the atomic number. So the configuration is 2, 8, 7. Now this is the structure for HCl which we are drawing, 7 electrons. Your hydrogen requires 1 electron as well as your chlorine requires 1 electron for the stable configuration. Now this is the structure. But as I said, that the unequal distribution of the shared electron pair occurs. Your chlorine being more electronegative than hydrogen, it attracts the shared electron pair towards itself, imparting a partial positive charge on hydrogen and a partial negative charge on chlorine. Hence, you will show the partial positive and the partial negative charge respectively on both the atoms in the line diagram. This is called polarity, the development of the partial positive and the negative charges. Hence, this bond is known as polar covalent bond. So I hope these videos will help you in drawing these structures. Now comes your coordinate bond, children. Now in your coordinate bond, basically your lone pair of electron plays a vital role. There are only 2 examples, your hydronium ion in your reduced syllabus and your ammonium ion which you have to do. Now if I show the breakup of this ion, it is actually water plus H plus ion. And here it is ammonia plus H plus ion. Now your H plus ion is proton. Now we have always been taught by our teachers right from the junior classes that your proton is the highest reactive species. Now why it is considered to be highest reactive species? Because hydrogen atom has got only 1 electron in the valence shell. The moment it loses that 1 electron, it changes into proton, that is your H plus ion, with no electrons left in the valence shell. So it is highly unstable. Because it is highly unstable, therefore it is considered to be a highest reactive species. Just remember one thing, children, that when we are doing sciences, whether it is your physics, it is your chemistry, it is your biology, we need to ask a question why. The moment you will get your answer for why, you will understand the concepts and you will remember your lifelong. So just don't read and learn just because your teachers are saying. Understand, ask the question why, that why it is happening. The day you get the answer for that why, you will understand the concepts very nicely. So that inquisitiveness, that curiosity should be there in every science student to excel in their particular fields. So let's see the structure for hydronium ion. This is for your water. Now, if you see in this, you are having 2 lone pair of electrons which are left with oxygen, because as I said, your oxygen atom is having 6 electrons in the valence shell. To complete its octet configuration, only 2 electrons are participating in the bonding. So they are considered to be your bonding electrons, and these electrons which are left, they are the lone pair of electrons. So these lone pair of electrons, they are accepted. One of the pair is accepted by the proton. I am going the reverse side. Instead of drawing the electron dot diagram, I first draw the line diagram. It becomes very useful to draw the electron dot structure for your coordinate bond. So that reverse order should be applied in the coordinate bond, just to make sure that whatever structure you are going to draw, that is absolutely correct. So this line diagram is a blueprint, you can say, for the electron dot structure for coordinate bond. Now let's see the bonding. This is for your oxygen. So here it goes, the sharing for the hydrogen atom and the sharing for your oxygen. So this completes the structure for water. Your both the hydrogen atoms and the oxygen atom are completely stable now. But now we are introducing a H plus ion here. Now this H plus ion will share the lone pair of electrons where the oxygen is not participating. Why? Because oxygen stable configuration is already complete. So this is called your coordinate bond, where the sharing of the electron pair is done by one atom to the ion or to the atom which is electron deficient. So when we are drawing the line diagram, there is another way of drawing the diagram, which I'm just showing because maybe you have done this. But if you are showing all the three as hydrogen atom, you have to use a positive charge outside the bracket. Because of this positive charge here, children, if you are not mentioning, then it will represent hydrogen atom. And if it will represent hydrogen atom, then under no circumstances your hydrogen atom will accept 2 electrons. It will not, because it only requires 1. So I hope the structure of hydronium ion is clear to you all. Now here it goes, the structure for ammonium ion. Now for ammonium ion, if we first draw the structure for your ammonia, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because the atomic number for nitrogen is 7, so the configuration is 2, 5. Hydrogen atom, there are 3 hydrogen atoms. So this completes the structure for the 3 hydrogen atoms involved in ammonia. And this final sharing completes the configuration for nitrogen. But then, as I said, we are not drawing the structure for ammonia, we are drawing the structure for ammonium ion. So again, here H plus ion has been introduced, which is highly reactive because it is highly unstable. So it will take the 2 lone pair of electrons or 1. When we are saying 2 lone pair of electrons, therefore it should be 4. This is a very common mistake where the children get confused between pair and 2 electrons. A pair of electrons means 2 electrons. So your H plus ion requires only 1 lone pair of electron. Because it requires only 1 lone pair of electron, therefore nitrogen atom, which is left with 1 lone pair of electron only, donates or shares its lone pair of electrons with H plus ion and completes the configuration for proton. So when we draw the line diagram, it is drawn like this, where your nitrogen is represented with 1 lone pair of electron, which is being shared by the H plus ion. So this positive charge is very important. You can also make the structure like this, as I said in the case of your hydronium ion also, that if you are not using a positive charge here, then you have to use a positive charge outside the bracket. So this completes the structures formation for all the 3 bonds. I hope this video tutorial will help you in drawing these structures which are there in your syllabus. So with this, I end up the session, hoping to meet soon once again. Thank you.